it. Hello, Elmarie, Worcester, Western Cape, South Africa. It is, I look down at my computer to see what time it is. It is now 22 minutes past 10 on Friday morning. It's the 15th today. My channel is mostly about yarn and knitting, crocheting, sewing. I did do some sewing. Currently, very soon, no, not currently, very soon it will also be about spinning. I am spinning, just not very well at the moment. Yarn dyeing, which I started doing now. Selling yarn, whatever. Okay, so I've got my second cup of coffee. Cheers. That's what you say when you're drinking alcohol. I don't drink a lot of alcohol, so caffeine, unfortunately, I do. I am sitting. Oh, I've got my go-to pillow. You see my pillow? So one of the first pillows I ever made, crochet-wise. I have a pillow. It's like white in the back, so it's not good for trying to sell it. I think the white background sort of freaks people out. It's gonna get dirty, so I kept it for myself. I think I should make some more pillows. Now that I'm looking at it, I really should. I like my pillow. Anyway, so that goes right to the back. I don't have a lot to say today, actually, except that I am preparing for our vacation. I think I need another sip of coffee. Our vacation is starting as of Sunday morning. We are flying to Italy. Now, I just want to say that in my entire 44 years, yes, I'm 44. In my 44 years, I never thought I'd go overseas. I never thought I'd even leave South Africa. Then, actually, last year already, we went to Namibia, which is the farthest I've ever been out of South Africa physically. Then we did a boat trip. Also, my husband had a lot of leftover vacation time that he just never took. Now, with that, I mean, I think he had about, his vacation time is like 3 weeks a year. And I think he had about 12 weeks. I don't know. It was a lot. It was sort of hanging there. And he just said, it's not going to be paid out. I have to start taking this. So he started taking time off. Now, for the life of me, I love that. I love that man, really, I do. But he's got a sense of responsibility that sometimes can be a bit unhealthy. He just never took that time. So we started taking the time. We went to Namibia, and then we went on a boat trip to the Portuguese islands, which I won't do again. Neither of us are very high on the entertainment thing, and really all you did was get entertainment, which is great. I mean, if you are, let me just get my legs straight here. If you are the type of person that wants to go, that likes, as we put it in Afrikaans, a good old jaw all the time, then that's the best place for you to be. Go, by all means. I mean, they've got a yearly thing where they have, my washing machine just told me it's done. Anyway, they've got a yearly thing where they actually just have shows on the boat the whole time. That's not my thing though. I don't like it. I want to explore. I want to go to places, see something new. see how the people live. That was actually very upsetting for me to see how those people live on that island. It was really, was very, very upsetting, really. The level of poverty there is. But then I think also they live a much more type of primitive life. So as long as they have food and it's not drought, and they have food, they live, you know, they have the tourist income and that sort of thing. But I don't think that is what they really are dependent on. But there was such a severe drought. They just didn't have food. So eventually there was like a whole tornado thing that went through. So they've got water now, but still it's a hectic life. It's a hectic life. I think if you live in a Western type society and you go to those countries, you immediately start feeling, or you go to that sort of place. And I mean, in South Africa, you will see some of that. But if you go to that sort of setup where that is all they have, you immediately feel sorry for them until you realize, but they're not sorry for themselves. They're happy. They're actually happy. And then you start thinking, wow, that actually looks really nice. I think I should go live like that. Because it's a very basic way of living. And then you come home and you think, nah, that's okay. I don't think I'm made for that. I think some people are and some people are not. Anyway, that's my story about that. So this time, now this is the other thing about us. I mean, this is a whole video apparently about using, but okay. We don't plan. We're not like normal people who plan anything. You know, other people go overseas and they plan it like months ahead, maybe even a year ahead, year and a half ahead. No, 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 not us. No. We sit together and we say, well, okay, you've got vacation time and you have to take it. What are we going to do with that vacation time? And my answer to that is anywhere where you don't have cell phone reception, because if you have cell phone reception, you are working. Also, where no one in the physical shop can find you, because if they can, you are working. Those two obviously go hand in hand, but yeah. So we're thinking, Namibia, and we think, yeah, we need something different. Definitely not a boat trip again to the Portuguese islands. And they also not like definite times. What we gonna do? Maybe Natal. No, you still have cell phone reception in Natal. Maybe the wildlife reserve somewhere. No, you still have cell phone reception there. And then we think, well, maybe we can go overseas. We can try Italy and France. That's what we thought. Italy and France. Let's go check it out. It turns out, my darling South Africa, I love this country. I really do. I love its people. But they will drive you crazy. They will. I don't even want to talk about it. I spend a lot of time crying and praying over this country and its people. Oh, I'm going to start crying now. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to cry. But yeah, it's not always easy living here. It's not always easy dealing with people who don't want to change, who don't want to listen, who don't want to hear the truth about our past and the influence it has on what we have now. And they also don't want to, and then we sit on the other side with people who don't want to understand that they need to change, that it's not the past anymore, that we need to live for now. And yeah, just just takes a lot of prayer. A lot of prayer at the moment. We're praying a lot. Those of us who are true followers of Christ, true Christians. Because honestly, these days, anybody calls themselves a Christian if they're not in some other religion, and that's not what following Christ is about. But anyway, that's a whole different story. I'm not talking about that. I am talking about our vacation. Anyway, so we decided to go find out, and that was what I was about to say. My darling South Africa is so tourist mad that any place that is tourist related costs a fortune for us locals. So going, for instance, to the Kruger Wildtuin is impossible for me. I mean, it's really ridiculously expensive just to go watch stuff that I already know. Although I've never seen a lion in real life. I did, but that was at a zoo, which is terrible. Never seen a wild lion. One day I will see. No, I did, actually. No, I didn't. Anyway, I live in the Western Cape. We don't have lions here. Too much of them anyway. I suppose they are there somewhere, but I don't know about them now. Sorry for drinking my coffee in between, but it's getting cold. So we took a look and we realized that, wait a minute, the only thing more expensive in that's in Europe at the moment will be our flight. Visums aren't that expensive for Italy and France, and they're really quick. Get them within a week. So we took a look at our finances, and we realized that from buying the house, we still had some money left. And may I say this just quickly, this was all within 3 weeks. It wasn't like 2-3 months, it's like 3 weeks. So it's like, wait, now we have to and what about this? So we went to the flight center in Worcester. Amazing people. If you live in this area, they're really amazing people. We spoke to Suzanne, and Suzanne found out the flights. And typically my husband just sort of went and he found a cheaper flight, which costs us 4,000 rand less. Only hiccup is we have a 7-hour layover in between. Yeah, and the places that we're staying actually some of them cost less than your typical South African place would cost. Transport wise, petrol is very expensive over there. It's 1.5 euros, but we won't be driving. We will drive from one town to another town and then stop there, and then we'll walk the rest of the time. So we're taking our takis, and we plan on losing weight. Because apparently, but then now, if you buy coffee at a bar, I watched a YouTube thing about that. If you buy coffee at a coffee bar or a bar that sells coffee, you pay maximum 1.5 euros. You just don't sit down. If you sit down at the restaurant, it costs a fortune. It costs 6 euros. But if you 5 to 6 euros. But if you buy it at a bar and then it costs you the same as a cup of coffee cost me in South Africa. So we really are being wise about that. So we're flying on Sunday. So this will then be the last video you see from me until the 4th of October. And the 4th of October, I'll be back to tell you all about my vacation. What's difficult for me to do at the moment is to leave. Let me show you what I received through Postnet. I got these through Postnet. from my friend, and it is very, very difficult for me to leave them undyed. There we go. To leave this beautiful, beautiful thing undyed. But I have decided to do that. Because if I hurry the process now, I'm going to mess it up. I know I'm going to mess it up. So I'll rather not. I'll rather not do that. I smell like bull. I'll rather not do that. But I've got a kilo of this. I so would like to buy 10 kilos at a time and just dye 100 skeins of yarn and have them all right there. If anybody wants to sponsor me, more than welcome. That will cost me like 5,500 rand at the moment. But I love these. I love the process. I love everything about it. So yeah. Anyway, I've got a kilo, which means it's 10 skeins. At the moment, I'm hoping to get more. I really am. Anywho, that's that. Works in progress. I actually have one to show you. It's a crochet project. Project. Who says project? Oh, it's Australians. Project. Anyway, project. This is the first Ravelry pattern I actually bought. And I'll put the link down below. Just let me get to the last page so that you can actually see what it looks like when it's done. This is what the entire block looks like when it's done. I'm sorry, it's not in color. It is black and white printed. And I'm going to put the link down below. It cost me, it's $2. This is the pattern. It's huge. And there are extensions. So this block is called the Amanzi block. It's written by a South African lady called Jane Tyler. And it is actually inspired by... Amanzi means water in Zulu. That's a South African native language. Well, one of our languages. And she wrote the pattern it was inspired really by the terrible fires we had in Worcester. It's really bad. I'm not gonna cry. I'm not gonna cry. So yeah, we had these fires and we have severe droughts in South Africa as well at the moment. Really, we do. We still need a lot of water. Western Cape is still... I mean, I'm watching the weather as I'm sitting here. It's a cool day. We're expecting rain tomorrow, but it's really not there yet. It's another prayer. I sometimes think I must be irritating God at some point. My nagging. I know I don't irritate him. I know he loves me. But jeez. Anyway, so I started... this is what this block is about. And I can really tell you, I don't do mandalas. I only realized this is supposed to be a mandala pattern. I don't do mandalas. It's a principle thing. But I don't think it's a mandala pattern, really. I don't know. And honestly, I bought the pattern because I love the colors and I love the texture. It is an amazing textured pattern. Buy it. Really buy it. It cost me $2. Now at the moment is 27 Rand. It was worth every cent of that 27 Rand. And she's got YouTube links. The minute you buy the pattern, you get the YouTube links with it. So you can actually go check some of the words on the pattern, sorry, were a bit, I think this is definitely not for a beginner. It's not for a beginner. It's intermediate. You need to know your stitches already. You need to know what a popcorn stitch is. You need to know what a puff stitch is. You need to know those things because it's not put out on the pattern. It doesn't say popcorn stitches this, and this, and a puff stitches this, and this. So and she also says that. But if you watch the YouTube video and you already did them, but you're not really sure if you know how to do them, the videos really show you exactly what to do. Also, there's like, I did this one round, I think it was round 10. Sorry. Yes, I think it was round 10. It was round 10, I think, that I did or finished. I've got some bigger ones coming up. Anyway, that I finished, and yes, it was round 9. I'm on my way to round 10 now, and some of the way it is written could be well, for me, I've never done something like this. It's a bit odd, but that's where the video comes in. It's amazing because I can just go, okay, I don't quite understand what you're saying here. Go to the video, and then I check on the video. So this is how far I've come. I am now at going to round 10. And this is what it looks like. Sorry, that bit hasn't been worked off. And then, you see, that's what it looks like so far. And you can also, I mean, it's amazing with this pattern because you can actually take the motif and just stop anywhere you want. I mean, if you want to stop here, stop here. This is something you want to like hang on to, you can just block it right here, and this is what it looks like on the inside. So you can see it really is very textured. It looks like it's like a dammetjie in there. A dammetjie is like the Afrikaans word for a dam. It's like you can actually like put something inside. So yeah, I am very impressed with this pattern and I love it. I love the process. I'm using totally different colors than she is. I'm using bits and pieces of moya. They're all sort of loose balls that I had lying around. Oh, and colors of grace. So they're cottons. She is using Stylecraft in the pattern. And it's acrylics, and I don't like working with acrylics, as I have said before. But this is amazing, and I'm using my... I'm hoping it's in here. Oh, yes. I'm using my Addy bamboo needle, hook rather, not needle, hook. And it's a 4.5. The pattern calls for a 4mm, but I think it's a slightly thicker yarn. Now, the one thing about, one of the better things about acrylics is that you have a much more defined, you have more defined stitches. You define, yeah, you can see your stitches better. With cotton, yeah, that's the only negative thing I can say about cotton is that when you're working, it's difficult. It's not difficult, it's more difficult to see those stitches. If you're working with merino or any of the animal fibers, it's, you have these amazing stitches that you can see where they are. Cotton is the only one that I can say sometimes it's a bit tricky. But yeah, I love this. Absolutely love this. I am sadly considering keeping this specific motif and starting and just keeping it as a motif to hang up, because I kind of like this. But anyway, it makes a block, as you saw on the photo, and get very versatile with it. That's the other thing, is that when you buy this pattern, you get the extensions. And she extended the whole thing, made little detailed changes, so that you can make an afghan out of it. And I mean, this actually makes a 44 by 44 centimeter block. So that's a pillowcase. The whole idea just fascinated me. I will probably make a pillow. No. I'm not going to make a pillow. You know what I'm going to do? I've got in that other project bag of mine, I've still got that triple stitch blanket that's driving me nuts. Nuts! It's making me crazy because it's boring. It gets so boring. It's boring. Really, it's like, now everybody tells me, but add some stitches. You know what? Yes, I can. I can do that. I can add popcorns and whatever. But that's like yarn gobblers. You know how much yarn this takes? Anyway, and that's a huge blanket. So I was thinking, I think I'm going to make these blocks. I'm going to straighten out, get the ripples straight, which is not that difficult really. I'm saying that now. Anyway, I'm going to do that. And then when I've done that, I will then go and put those blocks, add those blocks on at the bottom. Why not? It's my blanket. I can do whatever I want to with it. And it can be as weird as possible. I like weird. I think I am a bit weird. But anyway, never mind. I like that. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So that's what I've got to say about a whip. That's the only whip I am willing to show. The rest are like cast on and leave, cast on and leave, cast. I haven't made my mind up what I want to do yet, which is why I cast on and leave. I think though I'm taking a crochet project on the flight with me, which will probably be that one, and then or something easier really. Maybe just a couple of plain blocks. I don't know. I think I'll just do a couple of plain blocks and do like 3 of those in between. Anyway, that's a whole different book, and that's not how my brain works, by the way. I'm taking that on the flight with me, and then I'm taking knitting in my other luggage with the needles, and I'm going to do just a Timu shawl, like the one I'm wearing now. Is it Timu? No, it's not Timu. Timu is my... Oh, I'm sorry. But so Timu is the yarn I sell. It's a 10-ply cotton liner shawl. I'm gonna do another liner shawl. I've got nice colors to work with that. I've got a skein of yarn I've got 2 skeins of yarn that I so need to sort out. They look as if a mouse went in them and created its own little nest. One of those colors I actually want to take with me for the liner shawl. So I'll take that with me and see if I get that skein of yarn sorted out. No, I'm hoping all. Anyway, so that is like 29 minutes and 30 seconds later. I try to keep the videos up to 30 minutes and not longer. I'm not sure about the upload on YouTube. If I can make it anything longer, I don't think I can. Not with my standard page. See you again on the 4th of October. I hope you have an awesome September and a great October for the rest of this. Until I see you again, be blessed, take care, and yeah, lots of love. Bye.